Okay, here's your reassessment for your quiz, open notes quiz that you had on Friday. This will help you for your test tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow, not Friday. So we got the days mixed up with everything. So, the red information stuff you need to memorize to know, to recognize. You will see a problem like number 1, where you use the inscribed angle, which was angle R, W, excuse me. First, you find that inscribed angle, angle W, will basically equal half the intercept of art. The intercept of art was the red curve, which was 80. So half of 80 was 40. So angle W is 40. I'm going to put that 40 inside, and now I'm going to use the triangle. Because the sum of the triangle equals 180. So if I add my 40 plus my 65, that gives me 105. And then I'm going to do 180 minus 105 to find the measure of angle V. Angle V equals 75, as most of you have. Well, to make sure you're doing angle 2, I am going to make sure you get the problem set up. Excuse me. Some of us did this in class when we saw that this was the diameter, so I cut the circle in half, so 180. So if I know that P to Y is 72, then if I do 180, I said 72, 180 minus 62, that would give me my missing arc for PW, which is my red arc. This came out to be 118. So now that I know this arc is 118, then angle X will be half that arc, 118 divided by 2, and then you can get your answer. On number 3, we talked about swinging the radius. Make sure you would definitely see this again. Swing the radius over to the other side to make your right triangle. When I do that, I know this is my radius, which is 14.4. So that lets me know that this hypotenuse is 14.4. I don't know if you can see that. Let me fix that. Swing the radius, 14.4. And swing it over here. All right. And then we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem to find the missing leg, and then use that to find the missing piece X. So Pythagorean theorem states I can do my 11.4 squared plus the y squared is going to equal to my 14.4 squared. And this is why you're going to need your calculator. And don't round, even though it's a decimal and we are squaring, you're not going to round your answer. You're going to write down the decimal. So this first decimal was 129.96 plus y squared. And then the 14.4 square was 207.36. So we're going to subtract the 129. Remember, we're not going to round to the very end. We're going to subtract that. I think we did these in class, right? Yeah. Y squared equals the 77.4, and then you're going to take the square root of that. And then once we get that answer, that only represents the leg that we're finding. So this comes out to a crazy number, 8.797, I believe. Yeah. So we're going to round this to 8.8. All right, so y equals 8.8, and I want to find x. Well, then to find x, I'm just going to take the radius minus that y. So that's the 14.4 minus the 8.8. And so x is approximately 5.6. So on number 4, again, I'm going to ask you to swing the radius, but now we're going to swing it to the other side because I'm going to make my right triangle here. Or I had some draw it here, that's fine, but basically swing it there, and swing it there, and label it. This 17.4 is your radius, and then our 15.4 is the leg. Because of that box, we know the chords are going to get bisected, and that's going to be our y squared. So here, we're going to do y squared plus 15.4 squared equals 17.4 squared. Do Pythagorean theorem, and if you did it right, you find your x, you are going to have to end up subtracting to get the x. You're going to have to subtract your radius from y, and you should end up, so first find your x, find your y, sorry. And I'm not doing that. You need to practice doing that. And then once you find your y, subtract it from the radius. X should be approximately 9.3. Please don't turn in your paper with just this and think you're going to get credit. You need to physically work it out, see if you get to this answer. If you can get to the 9.3, then you know how to do it when you have to do it tomorrow. All right, then here, this was the tangent, the radius are perpendicular. So we plug in x squared plus 10 squared equals x plus 5 squared. X squared plus 100 equals, that ends up becoming x plus 5 times x plus 5. And then you can do your distributive property or full method, or you can use the shortcut x squared plus, this ends up becoming 10x plus 25. That's going to equal to what we have on the left. That didn't change. But when we subtract the x squared, they will cancel out, which leaves us with, and I'm just going to move it over here to the left, we have 100 equal to 10x plus 25. Subtract the 25. We get 75 equals 10x. Divide by 10, and yes, we get a decimal answer. So x equals 7.5. So, same type of concept and setup here on number 6. The tangent, which is the 16, is perpendicular to the radius, which is x. So again, we're going to do Pythagorean theorem. X squared plus 16 squared equals x plus 8 parentheses squared. So x squared plus, I think this is 256. Let me make sure. Yeah, 256, and this is really just x plus 8 times, I'm going to run out of room, x plus 8, dang it. Let me write this. X squared plus the 256, 8, x plus 8. Distribute or use your full method. If you work it out, you should get to x squared plus the 256 equals x squared plus 16x plus 64. And then you're going to subtract your x squares, which will cancel out, leaving you a linear equation of 256 equals 16x plus 64. Solve for x, which I know you can do. And if you solve it correctly, you should get a whole number answer greater than 10. Or less than 15. That's your clue. Here we talked about using cone head. You got to recognize the tangents and then use the congruent tangents to find the missing part. So if this tangent here is 13, then it's 13 on this one as well. If my tangent here at 10.7, this would be 10.7 as well. I know the whole side is 23, so I can subtract the 10.7 from the 23 to find my missing part, which will give me 12.3, which means this is also 12.3. So now I can do my find my perimeter, add up the sides. This side, if I add it up together, is 23.7. If I add these sides together, that's 25.3. So to get the perimeter, add all three sides, 25.3 plus the 23 plus the 23.7, which gives us a perimeter of 72. So we're doing the same thing over here. Find our missing parts. Well, I got 10.7. I know that this tangent and this tangent are the same. So that's going to be 10.7 here. And then I see that the whole segment is the 14.1. So how can you find this missing part? Because we have this small little piece right here that we have to use. Or actually we don't need to use that because we know that the whole thing is 14.1, 14.4. What we need to find is this piece over here. Well, yeah, we're going to have to work all the way around. So oops, 14, the 14.1 minus the 10.7. That's what you do. We do have to find that. So go ahead, see if you can get that piece. And then we use that to find the other pieces, yeah. What's this? 3.4. So that means this is 3.4. And then we subtract that from the 14.4 here. So that gives me 11. And then this means this is 11. And then we subtract that from the 17.2 to get that missing piece. So that's the 6.2, which means this is 6.2. And now I can find this whole side here, which is 16.9. And now I can do my perimeter. Because you have this whole side, this whole side, this whole side, and now we have the whole fourth side. You can add all four sides to come up. So use that. Here was conehead. Understand that, yes, this is a radius, but we're not going to use it. So if that's 5, it's 5. That's wonderful. But we're just going to use the tangents, which means the 2x plus 15 is equal to 4x minus 5. Subtract your 2 x's. 15 equals 2x minus 5. Add the 5. And we get 20 equals 2x. And yes, x equals 10. And we're done. So they gave us extra information here because yes, that's the radius, but we're just using the tangents to solve. So this 2x minus 13 is equal to a negative 3 plus x. Don't forget your signs. Solve for x. If you do it correctly, you should get a similar answer to number 9, which was very similar to number 11. All right, so here, part times part. This is 6 times x is equal to 12 times 5. Or you can put it 12 times 5 is equal to 6 times x. It doesn't matter. The 60 equals 6x, which once we divide by 6, we see x is 10. So we're doing part times part here. This is very similar to the quiz. 8 times 5 equals 10 times x. 40 equals 10x. You can solve for x there. You're definitely going to see that again. Then we have tangent squared equals secant times outer. So we've got to know which part is the tangent. On this one, that is the 6. So the 6 squared is equal to the whole secant. That means you're adding the two parts together, x plus 4, times just the part on the outside, which is the 4. We get 36. And then we distribute our 4 to each term. That's 4x plus 16. Subtract 16 from both sides. So we can solve for x. 20 equals 4x. And yes, x equals 5. So here we have secant rules. So that's the whole, the w is whole times the outer o. So we want to take this whole secant here. The whole secant will be x plus 9 times the part on the outside is 9. That's going to equal to this whole secant, which is 8 plus 10 times the 10 that's on the outside. Yes, so we know that that's just 18. Or you can distribute each part. You come out the same answer. But this is 9x plus 81 is equal to 8 times 10, which is really 9x plus 81 is equal to 180 minus the 81 on both sides. I wrote 18. 9x equal to 99. And yes, x equals 11. So, on this, you have to finish on this first one. This is secant, not tan secant. So, take the whole secant, 8 plus 13, times the part on the outside, which is 8. It's going to equal to the whole other secant, times the part that's on the outside, which is 7. See if you set this up correctly. Yes, we can simplify that to 21 times 8 equals, and then distribute each one, 49 plus 7x. I know you can get the answer from here. Hopefully, if you do it correctly, you get a number less than 20, but greater than 10. Yeah, good range right there. All right, and then this last one is tan secant. So tan secant, so whatever the tangent is, which is the 30, we're going to square it. It's going to equal to the whole secant, which is adding up the parts, 8 plus x, 18, times the 18, the outside part. So 900, and then you're going to have to distribute 18 times 18, or 18 squared, that's what, 324, I believe. Yeah. Plus 18x. Now you're solving for x. All right, so you got it from there. Go ahead and finish this to help you prepare for your test tomorrow. And I'm also going to do just a video just recapping corrections for your quiz, making sure you have the right setup. Watch that too. Those are still going to be, both are going to be a grade, especially if you need to reassess. All right, thanks.